to explain the poem. The name of the poem is The Bal Poem, and the writer of this poem is John Berryman. So yesterday we did introduction and summary of this poem. So today we are going to explain this one. So let's start from the stanza first. Yeah, you can see a picture. In that picture, a boy is there, and that boy had a ball in his hand, and that boy, yes, you bouncing the ball. Sure, let's see from the passage stanza. Yeah, what is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is the boy now who has lost this ball? Yes, you what is he to do? I saw it go, merely bouncing down the street and then merely over there is in the water. So what is the boy now? So now what the boy, yeah, what the poet is saying, that's a अब वो लड़का क्या करेगा? Who has lost his ball? Because the boy had lost his ball. Which ball he had with him, and when he was bouncing that ball in the street, and he was merrily bouncing that ball, he was happy to get that ball, and he was happy with that ball, and that ball was very 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 yes you dear, yeah. So the boy was happy when he was bouncing, when he was with his ball. So that time he was very happy. He was very happy and merrily. Merrily means cheerful, happily. Yes, he was bouncing the ball in the street. And then merrily over there is in the water. When that boy was bouncing that ball with the bouncing went into the water. So now the boy had lost his ball, and that ball was in the water, and he was waiting for the ball, and he was crying for the ball. So where was the ball? Let's know more about this one, and literary devices will be, yes, you told will be explained here. So let's start, and yes, you let's go ahead in the, yeah. So this is the explanations given, and I will send this complete poem to you. Yes, you mean to say this page, these documents will be sent to you, and yes, you have seen this one. So now the literary devices, which is literary devices used here. Let's see this one also. Literary devices. So literary devices, beta ji. First one is anaphora. So what is this anaphora? Use of repeated word in a two or more lines. So what is used here? What? So this is anaphora here. You can see, yes, you go and go back to the stanza. So what, yes, you what, yes, you these words is used many times. So this is anaphora. So a particular word when we used, yes, that will be anaphora. And assonance. You know very well about assonance. Yes, you repeated use of vowel O. Boy, now, who, lost. So use of O sound. Vowel sound used again and again, that is called assonance. Okay. So the first one is anaphora. So use of repeated words in two or more lines. So this is called anaphora, a particular word. So what is the boy, what, and merely bouncing, merely. So merely and merely. Merely also two time, and boy three, what, three or four time. So that's why it is called anaphora. So next one is assonance. It is known by you. I think you know very well about this one also, anaphora. So what is this anaphora? This is assonance. Assonance means a repeated use of vowel O, and this is used in boy, now, who, lost. And next one is imagery. So when poet says merely bouncing down the street, so this is the imagination. So it is not sure. Yes, you that boy was taking enjoy, and yes, you it is imagination. So that's why it is imagery. And repetition, what is repeated. So what देखिए, yes, ये what का जो use हुआ है वो repeated हुआ है many times. This is repetition and anaphora also. Okay, yes, you next go in the next stanza. Yeah, you can see in the picture, in the photograph, there is a boy, and that boy is watching his ball, and that ball is in the water. So no use to say, oh, there are other balls. No use to say, and there is no use to say the boy. There are other balls. The poet is saying that's it to the boy. Yes, there is no use to say the boy that is you can leave that ball and there are other balls. No, an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy, because that boy attached with that ball. Which ball has been lost, or which ball was in the water? And she stand rigid, trembling, staring down, and he was watching. He was staring, and he was yes, you mean to say staring that ball again and again. Which ball has been fallen? Which has ball has been lost in the water, and that ball was in the water, and that boy was trembling. That boy was rigid. He was not moving from that place, and he was watching that ball again and again. All his young days into the harbor were, and he was on the harbor. He was standing there and he was watching the ball. He was staring the ball. That ball, yes, which ball has been gone into the water. So, and his ball went. Yes, that ball went into the harbor, and yes, harbor. What is the mean of harbor? It is mean port. Yes, and he was standing on the port, and that his ball was in the water. Yes, and that deep water. That ball was in deep water, and yes, I would not intrude on him. So, mean the poet is saying that I will not disturb the boy. At him, another ball is worthless, because for that boy, a ball, yes, a new ball will be worthless, because he was attached with that particular ball, which ball has been gone into the water. So the boy was attached with that ball. So now he senses first responsibility. So through this, the boy will yes, you feel, yeah, boy will sense, yeah, boy will feel his first responsibility. So see, Pitaji, grief, sorrow. So these are the words which are used in the poem. Yeah, this is one is grief, and which is used in the, yeah, grief, sorrow, and next one is rigid. So this is the word rigid. Rigid mean fixed, without moving. Fixed, rigid, fixed or without moving. Next one is the trembling, shaking, kampna, and harbor, port. Yeah, and intrude, invader. So he was intuing. He was not intrude him. He was not disturb him. And dime mean, yes, you 10 cents, 10 cents, a dime. Okay, because a ball can be bought. A ball can be bought with a very small amount, with a very small money. Yeah, and worthless, that is useless. So what the poet now, you have to read this introduction of the poem. So the explanation of this stanza. The poet says that there is no benefit of consoling the boy. Okay, by saying that he will get another ball because he has other balls too. He says so because the boy is feeling very sad. He is completely surrounded by sorrow. He is sad because all the memories of the childhood days went down the harbor with the ball. Here the poet says that the boy is very sad, as well as the ball which has now gone into the water reminds him of those sweet memories of the times when he owned it. This loss is unbearable for him and he is grief stricken. So the poet says that he cannot even tell the boy to take some money from him in order to buy another ball. He says so because the new ball will not bring the sense of belonging to the boy, because he was attached with that ball very clearly, very deeply. So further the poet says that the time has come for the boy to learn the responsibility of taking care of his thing. So now we are which literary device is used in this stanza. So this is repetition, and that is ball. So you can see, you can go back to the stanza. This is the stanza. Yeah. So his ball, this one, other balls, this one, and yes, you two times this is repeated. So that is one. Yes, what is this? This is again repetition, and yes, you, this is a new one there. Aside turn, aside turn. This is one, aside turn, aside turn. Okay, assigned turn. So what is the use of an assigned turn? No use of conjunctions in a sentence. Yes, you, a dime, another ball is a worthless. तो यहाँ पे कोई भी कंजक्शन यूज नहीं होता एक सेंटेंस में, एक लाइन में, तो उसको हमने क्या कहा? दैट इज असाइनटेंट. ये हमारा असाइनटेंट हो जाएगा. ओके, नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन इज द इन अ वर्ड, in a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. So in a world of possession, in a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. So now the poet is speaking with the boy, and the boy the boy who has lost his ball. Yes, you. So he was talking. In a world of possession, people will take balls, and balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes, with epistemology of loss, how to stand up. knowing what every man must one day know and must know many days how to stand up. So next the thing is, first of all we are going to do the word meaning of this stanza. Possessions mean ownership, which things we have, which things belongs to us. These are the possessions mean. And next one is this external. External mean here the thing which be feeling are not attached. So these are the external thing, and those things are not attached with us. These things are the external thing. So money is also external thing. So money is not important. I think and relationship is important. Yeah, next one is desperate, mean hopeless, naraz, udas, and epistemology. Epistemology. So the Greek word episteme means knowledge. Epistemology means knowledge. So what the poet is saying is through this poem, through this stanza, here the poet says that the boy has to learn that in this materialistic world, many of his belongings will be lost. Many things. Yes, he has many things in his life, and these things can be lost. He personifies the ball as his belongings. He personifies the ball as his belonging, and be it the worldly thing or the relationship he is in possession of. So he says that he has to learn to live without them no matter what. So we have to learn. What we have to learn, those things are very very dear to us. These things will be lost, these things will go from us. So we should think, we should bear this separation. We should tolerate this separation. He says no one can buy back such things for him. Yes, those things has lost, those things has gone from our life. This thing not can be. Yes, you can be or not can be bought back. So the poet said so because according to him, money cannot buy you everything. If it does buy you something materialistic thing, still it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness. Yes, you can buy a new ball, but the attachment, yes, which attachment, which feelings you had with the ball, which has been lost, you cannot make that feelings, that attachment, that sense with the new thing. So he says that the boy is learning how to stand up against the sense of lost things. So this means that the boy is trying to learn the real truth of life, which states that you have to accept the miseries of life and stand up again. This is the truth which everyone has to learn in his or her life. The harsh truth or of standing up against the ordinary miseries of life that everyone has to bear. So what mean? So many things. Materialistic thing can be bought, but the attachment cannot be bought. So you have feeling for a particular thing, and you are going to buy a new thing, but there will be no attachment with the new thing. Which attachment you had with the old thing? Yeah, so literary device is used here. So what are the literary devices used here? It's use of sound B at the start of two consecutive words buys a ball back. So this is buys a ball back. This is a B alliterate here. Assonance, use of vowel sound E. He is learning well behind his disparate eyes. So E is assonance here. Repetition, ball word is repeated. Rhyming scheme, there is no rhyming scheme followed in the poem. So in the poem, this poem is in pre-verse, there is a no rhyming scheme. So this was the poem our for today, and this was the ball poem. So hope you got it now. The ball poem. Thank you. Have a nice day.